Student group had a process, decision was made, the board decision was then changed, and there was because of an outcry from the community. Pressure from outside groups, community trauma that needs to be healed in order to move forward. Communication is vitally important. The board needs to be comfortable with the process in order to stand by the decisions that they make. Finances will be a factor. The threat of losing funding if we don't change the as opposed to the cost of changing. So the outcome, I remember a comment being made, maybe it's time to just rip the Band-Aid off. Do some of you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And move forward with uniting our community, building trust and confidence, refocus on our students, refocus on academic achievement as opposed to high school mascot colors, school names, those kinds of things. But as long as we don't deal with it, it's going to be broiling beneath the surface.
So are you suggesting that the freshman class this year and perhaps 7th and 8th grade classes start a discussion on what the mascot would be and a suggestion for colors if we have the money to do it at the time, and if not, we'll maintain the ones that we have?
Well,
I understand that.
I think through fundraisers and other kinds of things that you could leave it to our high school folks to start to come up with a way to transition over a few years that would be a lot easier than delaying the decision is what I'm saying. That
So-
give them the opportunity to have the time to move forward,
So
not that the changes.
turn this over to the kids this year and let them
Right.
start working on what they would like to have their mascot and their.
Correct, but again, before we give them the mascot, we need to decide, you know, the mascot we want, again, going back to this, we want the new identity, we want rebranding for the district, so logo, colors, high school name. We are the Dalles, we're in the Dalles community. We are North Wasco, which represents district-wide, we represent more than one, unincorporated areas and a couple of communities, but we do reside in the Dalles. As you go into the building, we look up and it says the Dalles High School. When we go over to Watonka, it's always going to be Watonka campus. Watonka's up there, Watonka High School. If we put another high school there, it'd be Watonka High School.
And I have no problem moving ahead with that, because we are in the Dalles, and I think it's less confusing for people coming in and visiting, they know where we're at, et cetera, et cetera. The only thing that I have been asked is why don't we do like South County did, and it becomes North Wasco County High School.
And as I shared at the retreat,
Yeah.
when I go around the state,
Nobody
still
knows
to this
where
day,
Wasco County is.
I
Yeah.
say, they say, and I'm the superintendent from
Yeah.
North Wasco County School District, and they say, and where's that?
Yes.
And I say the Dalles.
Uh-huh. And I agree, because I've asked the same thing. So,
Well, I think by making a decision sooner than later, then we have the opportunity to use the resources that are going to be used to maintain things anyway. Uniforms are replaced on a somewhat regular schedule. Different things are done, and so that expense could be converted to the new mascot or the new colors or whatever, instead of buying new uniforms that then, when a decision is made, has to be changed again. So I think there's some resources there.
and quite frankly, I haven't run into anybody that objected to it being called the Dalles High School. I have not. One suggested the North Wasco County and understood that was maybe a little confusing. But I haven't run into any opposition on it, and I've asked a lot of people about it and their opinions. So, I don't know what you want done at this point in
Do you want to
time.
make a motion?
The only,
Do we want to do
I was
that tonight?
going to say, the
Yeah.
only, I would highly recommend that, you know, that the Band-Aid come off, as the board said in the retreat, and that you move forward with the first decision, which is
The name.
the name, and then we can have the parameters turned back over.
And I think the kids, I've asked a lot of kids about it, and they look at me and say, you know, we call it the Dalles High School anyway. You know, they don't, that's where they are. That's the building they walk into. And I do want to make it very clear that I do not want to lose the history of the Watonka campus, because it means something to a lot of people. And we will maintain the Dalles High School East and the Watonka campus West. And if our program goes through with our magnet school, it's gonna be at Watonka. So I will make a motion to change the name of the high school to the Dallas High School.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. Any more discussion?
Well, I would like to, this is the first time that I've seen this on the agenda. It's come to the public with the paper here. And I think it may be a little premature to be voting on it. I think some people know in the community. I've not received any feedback one way or the other because I'm assuming that, people don't know necessarily that this is on the table right now for a vote.
Yeah, I agree with Robert. I think we need to table it for a meeting or a month
Yeah.
and just get some feedback.
I don't have a problem moving forward, Ernie, with the name, but I just, my position is that this is the first time it's come up. And, I just think that it's time to maybe listen a little bit more before we act. And I do believe the first thing that needs to be changed or secured is the name, because I'm not saying that it's going to be changed necessarily. I don't know how the vote's going to go. And that we should, not just have it and vote on it tonight.
Okay, we'll open it up for some questions, comments. Linda?
The Dallas High School has always been the Dallas High School. I was in the second graduating class at Watonka High School. We started that high school. In my opinion, the Dallas High School was the Dallas High School. Watonka High School was Watonka High School. It no longer exists. It's still there, it's still part of the community, but the name of the high school in the Dalles is the Dalles High School.
I sort of agree with her. I'm Kathy, and most of you know I work for the district, but I want you to separate that. I'm just a patron tonight, and I want you to know that I feel the same way she does. It's the Dallas High School, the Watonka High School. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is to make sure that what you guys are talking about is the legal name. The Watonka High School, Watonka Campus is not the legal name of Watonka High School, Watonka Campus. You guys changed that when you did the two districts. It is the Dallas Watonka High School, East Campus, West Campus. Watonka has not been on that school, even though everything has been left out because we have no money to change it. So if that's going to happen, I would respectfully request that that name be put on there as either Watonka Campus, Watonka Building, to keep the historical value there and not call it the Dallas Watonka whatever West Campus. That's the legal name, you guys. It is not Watonka Campus. It was not Discovery Campus. It was not whatever the other 3 or 4 alternative names that it has been called. And it's been put on your agendas that way. But it is not the legal name, so I respectfully ask, whatever you do, leave the Watonka name someplace on there legally, not what people just call it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy, I agree.
Yes, sir.
My name is Don Hanson. My granddaughter was the spirit leader here the 4 years she was here, or the time she was here, and at the high school, she was the class president for the first 3 years and then vice president last year. And when this came up the last time, she and her team took a poll of all the students, the ones, she was, knew a lot of the students from the other school. When they all came together, when they took a poll of it, the vast majority of them wanted the Dallas High School, leave the colors like they were, and they voted on a mascot, and it wound up not being what they wanted. And that was the students' opinion.